Hello, we are live. Welcome to Bold Truth. I just going to be start off. This is my first YouTube live, and hope anyone could feel free to jump on. You've got a mic, webcam, and we'll talk. Anything really. And yeah, basically some things I want to talk about that's been on my mind, at least. I've been hearing some rumblings on the interweb that men aren't approaching anymore. I don't know if this is new or this has been going on for years, but it's been brought to my attention that some women don't like it, but I think women are approaching, and I just kind of wanted people's opinion on that. To me, I think it's everything's being reversed. Roles are being reversed. Women are getting higher education than men, higher salary than men. Basically, women like men, men like women. And I don't see it getting better. Actually, it's getting quite a bit worse. It's I don't know if you've heard of drizzle. Basically, men are the prize, and they are, if you're sorted out right. But it's like women going towards asking men out. That's a masculine thing, because women don't like being rejected. They don't handle it well. They don't have the emotional maturity. And so we're just taking a step backwards, my opinion. So I don't know where we go from here. Like, what do we actually do? I know there's a big industry with people getting their dogs and cats, and they get their attention or supply that way. But are we just going to have a solo life? Some men are just, I don't know what they call it, MGTOW, or I call it MISTOW. Men sent their own way rather than men going their own way. Black pill, the incels. And it's not a new thing. It's new that we're talking about it, or it is being talked about. But this whole thing of women approaching men versus men approaching women, that started by women. There's a great line by Dave Chappelle on one of his stand-up performances saying, chivalry's dead. You know who killed it? Women. And it's funny, but he's right. The whole thing of women don't want men that aren't at their level or above. They'll then scream, big, scary, bad man. Or they'll say, they'll call the cops, and I was being sexually, I was being harassed. So you got an harassment harassment charge. So then men just back off. Okay, we're not allowed to approach. Then the only thing that is left now is that for women to approach. And I don't think that's going to work out very well for any of us. And I see it going where, well, just look at the whole thing of passport bros. Basically, men in the Western world do not like Western women. And they're going for traditional, or not even traditional, but still sort of Western women, but they're feminine. Like guys that are coming from America, they go to Mexico or they go to Eastern Europe. And sure, the women are very hypergamous, but at least they're feminine. In the US and Canada, you've got the entitlement, no accountability, delusional, BPD. Need I say more? It's not attractive. Like how can you be, like, even the other day when I was out doing some errands and I went to the bank, there's a female bank teller who I've come across a couple times, and she's pleasant. She's not really proactive, but she's sociable, respectful to herself and to others. And that's lacking in the Western civilization. And I think that's a big thing once especially in a relationship, when the respect is gone, even just like, never mind the sex, but the respect is gone from the woman. Done. Guys don't like that. Some guys will put up with it, be in it for the sake of the children, as they say. But it seems Western civilization has come to a screeching halt and has really just, it's a house on fire that's already burnt down and it's gone. And I guess some guys have said, enjoy the decline. Nothing much more to enjoy. And my kind of take on, I guess, that type of thing to say, enjoy the decline, is, I don't know, I guess find some hobbies to keep your mind occupied while the rest of civilization collapses around you. Like some things I think, even just reading books. In the last 5 years or so, I've taken up reading books again. And not just reading, like, I don't know, reading like psychology books, EvoPsych, Red Pill, what else? Financial books, autobiography books, survivalism books, prepping books, even books on martial arts. What else do I have? Spiritual books. Yeah, all of those things. It's basically expand your previous mindset. And basically learn before you make any more. If you've made mistakes, learn from it, and hopefully you can read. Oh, mindset books. That's another one. Doesn't look too good for procreation and dating. Men aren't marrying anymore. Doesn't mean they aren't procreating, but it is really a slippery slope we're on. I don't like it. I can remember back in the 80s, it wasn't great, but it wasn't like this. Once technology was ramping up, it was just very, I could see society was changing. And then they say social media, even before social media, I could see it even in the early 2000s. We were just in the trajectory, just going off the cliff. And where we used to, like, I made a list here, like, we used to have chivalry, where a man would lay out his coat and over a puddle or something for a woman to step over or step onto, pulling out the chair for her at a restaurant. I don't know if that still gets done. Even going to restaurants, do people still do that? Picking up the bill. Now, there's been some things that have been really, I guess, controversial. Now they split the bill, and women don't like that. And now they're saying that, I heard on a YouTube call that, like, a lady was going to pay for the meal, and this guy still didn't want to go out, like, on the fly. Just okay, let's go. And, like, wow, she shoot her shot, and still, so that must have hurt. Oh, letting a woman have a taxi and the man take the next one. I don't know. There's no taxis anymore. It's just Uber, right? So I think since the birth of Uber, there's no taxis. So I guess that scenario doesn't work. Oh, give your coat to her on a cold night. I think a lot of, like, plugged in guys will do that. And I think to some certain degree, myself included, if I'm being honest. But things have taken a turn in my personal life recently that I'm starting to think differently. And I would normally, like, on previously in my early 20s, when I'd go on a date, yeah, I'd pick her up and drop her off. Nowadays, you don't know who you are. And like I come from a small town, and, like, I guess in the city people don't trust anyone. You could be some kind of serial killer or something. I don't know. But nowadays, I guess you just meet up. Okay, see you later. Take the high road. I don't know about taking the high road. I'll take the low road all day. What else do I got here? I don't have anything else. Well, seeing as divorce rates are where they are, and Google says, what does Google say? Next time I'm going to do this on StreamYard. I can't stream it or anything. Or can I? No, I can't. This sucks. In stream. Share stream. Mute. Oh, wait, I can share stream. Okay. Where am I? Okay, that's a divorce. Here we go. And then I will share. There we go. Boom. There you go. Let's move more. Thank you. So divorce rates in Canada have generally declined since 1990s. I would say even the 1980s. Like in 2020 being the lowest since 1973. And let's remember, 1960s is when the birth control pill, control pill was introduced. So just after that was invented, divorce started skyrocketing up. However, fewer people are getting married in the first place, with a greater percentage of opting common law relationships. So they're not getting married, so they're just living with each other. Alberta's divorce rate is slightly below the national average. Is that so? Declining trend. Divorce rates in Canada have been decreasing since the early 1990s. 2020 low. In 2020, the divorce rate reached its lowest point. You can't hear me. Reached its lowest point since 1973, with 5.6 divorces per 1,000 married people. Fewer marriages. The decrease is partly due to fewer people getting married with higher proportion. Okay, now take all of this into your filter. Okay. Now this is divorce rates. Now, okay, if you have a child who is a normie, I call them normies, normal, but what if you have a child that is special needs? Look at that. Ba-bam. Divorce rates are indeed higher for parents raising children with special needs, including those with autism, while some older studies suggest rates are as high as 80. What? 80 to 87%. So basically, almost 90%. And it's not about if you're going to get divorced, it's when. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Bam. More recent research indicates a more nuanced picture, with a noticeable increase in divorce risk compared to families without disabled children, but not necessarily reaching those extreme percentages. I love how Google just Google just sugarcoats this. Higher risk, not always extreme. Not always extreme? Really? While some studies show a higher risk of divorce in families with children with autism or special needs, with some reporting rates up to 87%. I think it's closer to 90 or 95%. It's like, let's be honest, it's almost 100% here. Like, come on. Suggests a smaller but still significant increase in divorce risk. So basically, we're being told marriage is mostly risk and not much reward. Yeah. Factors contributing to increased risk. Varied timelines. Oh, let's go to varied timelines. Okay. The risk. Holy cow, we're going long here, eh? What are we, 20 minutes now? Shoot. The risk of divorce may fluctuate over the child's lifespan, while with some studies suggesting it remains elevated throughout childhood, adolescence, and early adulthood for families with children on the autism spectrum. So kids who are in the spectrum, they call it, or who are the Rain Mans, tend to really get hit hard with that. Let's see. In conclusion, let's see the conclusion. You won't get closure, but you will get a conclusion. Let's see. In conclusion, while the divorce rate for parents of children with special needs is higher than in families without disabled children, the figures are not as high as some early reports suggested. Understanding the contributing factors and providing appropriate support can help families navigate these challenges and potentially reduce the risk of divorce. Understanding the contributing factors. No. Even if you understand it, it doesn't take away the risk. You know how you get rid of the risk? I'm going to tell you a secret. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. How do you not get divorced? 100%. This is how you get rid of divorce. Government, Matrix, Ancient Anderson. No divorce. Here it is. Don't get married. It's simple. Don't get married. That's how they. It's not even women. See, the crazy thing is, you take away the incentive for divorce, basically a payout. There's the settlement, and then custody, and then the support, alimony, maintenance stuff. You take the money away. There's not an incentive. Just like you eliminate the incentives, scholarships, and all of the, I wouldn't say subsidies, but all the crutches to get these, people who are working as an OT for a school, or teachers. Teachers getting like 6 figures. You take away the money, that high bar of money. What if they only get 20K? They're not going to do it. How many women? Imagine if these guys who work in the oil rigs, like even just starting is 100K. I think women would just jump on that. They couldn't do the job. Heck, a lot of men can't do the job. And they're physically stronger. Once it seems to me that wherever the money goes, that's where attention flows, something like that. It's like the thing is, men believe that women and men are playing by the same rules, and we're not. They're not. There's a certain level of deception, seduction. Even like the cardinal rule is whoever needs the other the most. And the thing is, if you're not going to you're just going to go for the lay. What's the saying? Why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? And that's kind of dehumanizing statement, but some guys say that. And basically, why get married and have children, pass on a legacy when you can just have fun? And we all die alone. We're born alone. So what's the point then of just not, if like the average divorce is like marriage is like, you're pretty good if you're like at 10 years. Well, you're gonna get married like 5 times. Only like guys like Kenny Rogers or high net worth profile guys who can actually afford to get married several times and get divorced. I even heard from a lawyer, get this. One couple got married 3 times and divorced twice. They may have been divorced 3 times, but he said they got married several times. Same couple. Not like different spouses or anything. Same people. I just think before you, first things first, even before you entertain getting with into a long-term relationship, one thing, you got to have your life sorted out, even just money-wise, even just that. Even if you're a bit chubby, heck, money can, you hire a personal trainer and get good food, and that money will take care of it. Although the money won't change your blue pill mindset. It's a crazy mess out there today, guys. Take it from me. Don't ask me how I know. I can honestly say I've lived I haven't lived a long life, but I've lived long enough. I have even seen in my own family, my relatives, stuff they go through. I can see it from the outside looking in. Okay, that's happening there. Of course, you don't need to say overtly, but I can see the telltale signs already. As they call it, what do they call it now? What is it here? I have it. Hang on. Here we go. It's called what? Money, status, looks, game. I have it. Money, status, game, looks. However you want to categorize that or chronologically sort that. I would say money comes first, status, and then I would say looks comes before game. You can get on your looks, you can get away with quite a bit. I think that's about it for my first stream. Sorry if I was very slow in the beginning. I'll get better. I'm gonna start putting out some videos. Not very long, probably 5 minutes. And I don't know where this is all going. It doesn't look like it's going to end well. It's not starting well. Referring to society, dating, marriage, which is pretty much non-existent nowadays. Yeah, it's a big hot mess. Things I want to do is get a motorcycle, get a nice electric guitar. I've gotten into archery, go to the gun range, get better at cooking. do some woodworking, that kind of stuff. Be a well-rounded person rather than, okay, I'm a music guy and that's all I do, and I stay in that box, I stay in that lane. Yeah. Anywho, see you guys on the next one. Take care.